Welcome back, everyone. I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return to Parkasaurus, where we're probably going to finish off this little, I guess, mini break of sorts from our previous raft series, because I think we basically went from that right into these couple of episodes. A little spacer in between for next week. As I announced in Jurassic World Evolution, we will be taking on Jurassic World Evolution. It's going Thursdays as a start, maybe do it twice a week, depending on what the feedback is on it. I've been wanting to do another survival series on the Tuesday slot, but I just don't know which one to exactly go for next. I don't know if I should bring back an old series, like say, no, we got a little bit of, oh, okay, it automatically collected for us. I don't know if we should go back and do something like The Long Dark, The Wild 8, or if we should try grabbing something new on the channel, like, I think Green Hell was one I've been watching for a while. Actually, I think that's kind of been the only real survival game that's most kind of piqued my interest. Or if you know any others, I have had a request actually for Minecraft, and now that I guess some of the hype around it has sort of died off a little bit, or more just that the period of everybody leaping on the bandwagon's over, I may do it, not because it's popular, but more just that it's... I guess I should probably explain that a little more for my thinking. Because there was a time, I'd probably say it was towards the end of last year, towards the ending quarter there, that Minecraft again took off in popularity on YouTube. Where you had a lot of the larger YouTubers who had done it, and it kind of seemed like it was just more for the sake of cashing in than it was just a natural come-up on the series. But then again, that's how a lot of YouTube operates, is going with the fads, but I didn't want to hop onto it in a reason like that. I want to do it more because I was trying to just have a fun series on the channel. If it got requested, I would do it. So, because I am admittedly running out of ideas for what I want to do with the channel, well, not with the channel, but on certain days, I do need to try to figure out requests and things to do. I don't want to overload with the Carnivore series. I think it's actually pretty good spaced out with the 3 per week, and then the little day in between as a little break or breather gap. So, if you guys do want to see Minecraft, just leave the comments down below in any of the series, and we can see about bringing that in Tuesdays, or when Jurassic World Evolution does start up, we can maybe bring that on every Tuesday and Thursday, depending on the feedback from it. Right now, it's all just kind of experimenting and that. We're still in the early stages after having gotten the 100 subscribers, so we're just going to take it relaxed. We're not going to set a new goal for the channel quite yet. We're just going to take it easy and see what you guys come up with and what you guys think. Hopefully we'll be able to find something for all of you currently here, and anybody in the future coming along too. But for now, I think we're going to just relax a little bit with Parkasaurus. We're still working through this map. We've got, actually, surprisingly, a bit we'll be able to go through. And there are some things I do want to talk about with the Parkasaurus. Just as a game and design-wise, there's some things I feel like could be done a little better with it. I just gotta see how I want to organize over here, because we want to get the science up, so I want to put down presentation booth. You know what, maybe we'll delete that in order to put this here. Yeah, that should be a good little spot. And you are a scientist doing not much of anything out there, so you come here and do that. There we go, that'll help boost the science up for our criteria over here pretty easily. Yeah, we only have 20 more science, and the hearts we should be getting in just a moment. Everything's good for biodiversity here. I just need to see where our stegosaurs are. Yeah, they are stegosaurs, I believe. They're kind of tucked away, probably in the privacy... Oh, no, there's one. Kind of hard to spot. Yes, you're only at 63, but once we get... Okay, once you're in there, that should be pretty good. Do we have any more eggs we can put down? We have a Parkasaurus, but that's not really going to fit in too well there. Let's try going for another Stegosaurus. We need an imperfect gem. I only want to do the one, just because we are a little tight on space. I'd prefer not to accidentally overshoot the population and there's not enough room for all of them. We'll try with just 3 to add another dinosaur into there and try to get the hearts up for the end of this day. Everything else is pretty good. I don't think there's really anything else I can add to it. Yeah, not overly. I couldn't even... Actually, could I put the... No, I can't even really squeeze the info booth anywhere down there, so can't really do much with that. Outhouses, I think, have been handled fairly well. I still wonder how the wooden bridge... Really? So I could do something like that. My only problem is, you kind of want the bridge to be over water in a way, don't you? Like... I'm surprised it can't fit there. I thought that would probably be a good thing for it. Oh, okay, so it can. You just have to be very careful, I guess, upon what the gap is for it to manage to bridge over. Like that. Okay, yeah, that could fit over there, so it will actually work over water. I guess there's just something blocking it around here that it's not quite enough space for it. Everything's nice, relaxing, and I do adore Parkasaurus, but there are a number of design choices I feel take a little bit away from the experience. And the biggest one has to be, I've said it a lot before and I am going to say it, the dinosaurs, they could use some more visual work on them. Not model-wise, just entirely texture-based. Because if you take a look at them, they're basically a primary color with a secondary for little side features. But when you compare that to the rest of the game, everything else is a lot more detailed compared to them. You have the little, instead of these just being brown and green, you have little flowers and coloring and that to them. The lights, the paths, even the people and everything just feel a lot more detailed than the dinosaurs look, and that kind of makes these dinosaurs a little less visually striking and kind of drawn to want to see more of them, in a way. Like, I think the model work is fine and they fit in very well, but the style is just too basic and bland for my taste. And when your game is a dinosaur park manager, and the dinosaurs aren't, like, the biggest draw or the most striking feature of the thing, you kind of feel that, so... That's just a little issue I have with it. I do think that a little bit of texture work, like we've seen with the Triceratops in the workshop example we've done in the previous episodes of the series. Oh, little something right there. I think that would go a very long way in helping to improve just wanting to see the dinosaurs. And continued advancements with the Steam Workshop. Like, there are a few workshop examples on there, but my problem is that you don't really... I don't understand exactly what files are kind of drawn for the textures and the stuff on things. Like, if you could figure out a way, or even, like, make a video tutorial of trying to edit and make your own texture files for things, I think that modding support would easily excel Parkasaurus from where it is right now. We'll just let everything kind of close up here. Did we get 2 more hearts? We did. Yeah, so that's that one done, and what's our last little objective series? Have 4 dinosaurs, unlock a dinosaur, and sell 10 balloons. Okay, that's actually going to be incredibly easy. All we really honestly need then would be going back into the town, getting another imperfect gem, and I think, honestly, just doing that, and that's it. And if we save up another heart and science, we can unlock the dinosaur, so... Yeah, this was a really easy map to get done. The balloons, just from here, so those should sell no problem. I'm really, really quite surprised at how easy this is going to have been. Like, once these 2 eggs hatch, that's the 4 of 4. The balloons will just kind of sell on their own as the day goes on. And the unlock is just going to take a little bit of time in the end of today. I do like how these levels are very easy to start with. Just kind of get your footing and your bearings and that. And it's nothing that's quite too involved or advanced with them. Just pop all those because we can. I do think that's one thing is where the design choice of the dinosaurs, they could use a little bit more to them. Like taking a look at little Flora here, you just kind of want some more detail other than just being a simple model and texture that it has. A little bit of maybe even like scaling to it, or just texture so that way it feels like it's actually skin, or Just a little more to make them a bit more visually striking and appealing to stand out. That, I think, is the biggest one. The second one, I do think, has to involve the money situation. Because one of the problems is, once you run out of money for a day, you basically aren't actually interacting with the game anymore until the next day comes along. You don't have a steady income throughout the day to continue building, developing, etc. I think it's the only park builder I've ever come across that's really had this mechanic. I don't think it's a bad idea, but I think you need to split a little bit for revenue so that way you're not just sitting idle for long periods of time in waiting. What I would say is maybe the donations come in at the end of every day, but as things like the balloons sell or the food sells, you see an immediate profit, so maybe you can't develop as much, but you still have a little bit of income that you can do small things around, just to kind of make yourself still feel involved with it. Those are mostly the two changes I can think of right now. The only other thing may be to eventually look at expanding to other species, or more dinosaur species, although I think that might even be on the table right now. Like, if we do Ankylosaurus, you have 4 versions of that, 4 of that, so that's 8, 16, 20, 24... So you have 30 species of dinosaurs available right now. I think that's actually a pretty good range for early access starting and everything as it is. Slowly over time, maybe they'll add more and figure that out. I don't think they need to worry too much about that right now. I think it's more fixing a little bit of the visuals, like the dinosaurs, and a little bit of the system so that way it doesn't feel like it's a waiting game more than anything else. Because one of the big things for park builders is you have to have an interest kept over time, in my opinion. If you don't have the interest to be able to see the park grow and develop and you feel like you have an active hand in it, you're kind of just watching a video slowly going along until you can actually do something. So it kind of makes it feel less engaging if you have to wait until the day's end before you actually have more money come in to actually work with. And I know there are things like the portal here. My only problem is to send them off, you actually have a cost associated with them. And that's not bad if you, say, bank it up for a while, but when you're first starting, you really hit a lot of periods where I've done all the development I can for a day. I might as well just hit the fast forward and let it go, and then almost speed through the game just to get to the parts where you can actually play it. I think all that downtime could be a little better spent just letting yourself get a little bit of income through the day, but save all the donation profit. Oh, there's one of them already done. Save all the donation profits to come in. Ah, God, I screwed myself up talking. Donations at the end of the day, but profits from some of your businesses and vendors and that continue to come in as they're sold, so that way you have some little income to play with. That way you can't exactly spring up a whole new exhibit right in the middle of the day if you don't have the money, but you could do things like, say, add more trees, or add a feeder, or add some decorations, stuff like that, so that way you still have a little bit you can do. And even then, that might help break the focus a little bit from the routine park building. I've made the exhibit, but I don't have the money to keep doing stuff with it. However, maybe I could look at improving the decoration score because of the little bit of money I keep getting in, and then kind of goes back and forth like that. It's just a little bit of system-wise that I think about. One of the things about me as a person is I'm not very artistic, so I can't really exactly bring ideas to life. The most I can do is maybe writing, as some of you may have either read or listened to the total readings I've done so far on the channel. So I basically come up with ideas and try to figure out how to improve what I see if there is need for it. That is basically for the dinosaurs and the system right now. It's just kind of how I operate. I always feel like if you can, you should try to give a little bit of constructive feedback for any early access game or any title like this that you can. Like, I'm trying to think if there's been any other. Dino System was a good one that I think we had a pretty good report built up, and I'm just waiting for a new update to be able to go back to that. I just, again, don't want to quite tap it out and make some pressure felt on the developer to hurry something out. I want them, everybody should be able to work at their own pace comfortably if they can, and just ideally pursue whatever they'd like to pursue with things. So the reason why Dino System I gave it a little hiatus was that I didn't want to burn it out with content and then kind of get a little drained if I just kind of did the same things over and over. This way, I get a little break from it. The developer... I think the series still sees some views, and there's a little bit of legacy on the channel that maybe new people will still come and see and check out, and they can form opinion or not, or go through a series and see. It's just something that it's always there. There's a little bit extra, I guess publicity would be... I guess publicity would probably be it, or a little free advertisement, whatever you want to call it. There's a little bit of stuff about it, so if people are interested, they can find stuff and learn and see. And just try to help them out, because the more people that are able to chase their dreams, ideas, stuff like that, the better off things are really going to get to be. I'm a person who believes that if a person's majority of their needs, like financial needs and living needs, are met, they're going to spend the excess and the extra on actually improving around them. Like, the best way I can put that is, say you're a carpenter and your house is built, and now what do? Your house is built, you have everything, you're just sitting comfortably, and you hear the neighbors looking to do some work. No, I have nothing to do. Here, I'll help you out. It's just stuff like that. Once your own needs are met, you might have a little bit more room to feel like you can also help others meet their own. So that's a little bit what I feel like I hope or wanted to try to do with some series like Parkasaurus Dino System, is help provide a little bit more of public awareness, or just a little bit more word of mouth out there, throw out a little bit of constructive criticism or ideas to help develop along, and see what takes, what doesn't, or just help spark a little bit of idea and discussion about things. I think as long as you're able to construct and aid, that feedback is deeply appreciated, because if you're developing it, I feel like maybe you almost bubble yourself in a way. You only think about your own ideas and stuff like that, so you can't sometimes see outside your own box. Okay, everything's looking pretty good. Actually, 3 out of 5 isn't too bad for all we got so far. So we'll do next day, and we can unlock Dinosaur. That, I think, will wrap this one up. Let's go to town, eggs. Let's minimize that. Yeah, sure, we'll open that up. And there we go. That's actually another map complete. So we'll go back to world map, and yeah, this episode ended a little earlier than I thought it would, but we are going to end Parkasaurus' little break here. I would like to see some things, as I said, a little bit of extra touches with the dinosaurs. Maybe as they've sort of gotten a better hang of this development of it, maybe they'll try adding other stuff. I don't really know, but that's my big things, is make the dinosaurs a little more visually striking or distinct. So either help improve the modding accessibility for people to make their own text. Oh, excuse me, I don't know why I'm burping like this. Make their own texture files and modifications, so that way they can make the dinosaurs customized to what they would like to see them as. Or maybe spend a little bit of time and do some little touches with the current textures for the dinosaurs. Like a little speckled pattern on, say, something like the Stegosaur, or a little bit of like a shell patterning on the tops of an Ankylosaur. Something like that to give them a little bit more than just feels like kind of like almost a paint shop or a Photoshop, Microsoft Paint bucket fill that they sort of have right now. And then change it so that way your donation profits come in at the end of the day, but your profits from just entering into the park and from shops and vendors in the park come through the day, so you have a little bit you can work with. Just keep yourself active throughout the entire day, than just kind of running out of money and sitting there waiting until the next day to actually do anything again. But all in all, I think we will leave this episode of Parkasaurus here. Thank you guys very much for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you in the Jurassic World Evolution series. We're going to be starting next Thursday. Until I see you then... Well, I was going to say SurvivalVis, at this point it's more. Until I see you then, everybody, please remember to take care and stay alive.